Why don't you go back to the mud puddle you came from? This is a decent neighborhood, not a charity for your kind. So, you're not even gonna believe this happened, but just picture it for a second. One of those July Saturdays that feels too perfect to be real, right? Sky so blue it's almost loud, not a cloud anywhere, air thick with fresh-cut grass and chlorine, and that sun so hot it made the whole yard shimmer like a mirage. My niece, Maya, 10 years old, full of light, visiting for the week. She'd been counting down the days just to swim in my pool, and I'd been counting them down because, honestly, seeing that kid laugh does more for my heart than any therapy ever could. I'd just filled up a giant glass pitcher with lemonade. Like, real lemonade. The kind you gotta juice yourself and throw a couple sprigs of mint into it to feel fancy. And I was slicing up a watermelon, ready to watch her do her clumsy handstands and giggle at her own splash. I look out the kitchen window, and there she is, all pink and purple, just a bright splash against the blue water, laughing like nothing bad could ever touch her. And then, out of nowhere, this voice cuts through the air, nails on a chalkboard. Mean, sharp, so full of ugly that it made me drop the tray right there. Watermelon slides across the tiles, lemonade goes everywhere. For a half second, I can't even make out what she's saying, just that hate in her voice, and my chest locks up. I ran to the door, heart going 100 miles an hour, threw it open, and there she was, some woman standing on my patio like she owned the place, right at the edge of my pool. I keep the side gate locked, always, but I guess I missed it that morning. She looked exactly how you'd expect. Older, late 60s, bleach blonde hair fighting for its life, windbreaker zipped up tight even in the heat, track pants from a thrift store, face twisted up like she'd just swallowed a lemon. She was screaming, but not at me, at Maya, who was frozen in the pool, her hands white-knuckling the edge. All that joy just ripped out and replaced with this raw, animal fear. You know when you see a kid so scared it makes you sick? That's what I saw. My blood went volcanic. I stormed out, didn't even realize I was moving. Get away from her. I roared, didn't even sound like my own voice. Get off my property right now. The woman spun on me, puffed herself up, and pointed, first at Maya, then me. I am a concerned citizen, she shrieked. I saw this urchin sneaking into your pool, and I'm not gonna let this neighborhood go to the dogs. I'm calling the police. My brain short-circuited. She's on my property, scaring my niece, and she's calling the cops? I stepped in front of Maya, low and calm. This is my niece. This is my house. You're trespassing. Leave, or I'm calling the police. She barked out a laugh, short, nasty, and started dialing 911 right in front of me. We both heard the dispatcher's voice. Yes, I need an officer immediately, she squawked. There's a break-in, a young black girl in my neighbor's pool. She's very aggressive. I watched Maya's face crumple, silent tears running down her cheeks. That's what did it. I pointed to the front door. You're a liar and a trespasser. Leave. Now. And that's when she smacked my hand away, hard. Don't you touch me, she shrieked, then shoved me with both hands, sent me stumbling. I caught myself, pure white-hot rage burning in my veins. That's it, I said, phone out. You just assaulted me on my own property. But before I could even finish dialing, she was on another call, barking into the phone. It's bad. I need you and Jimmy here now. And call Kevin. Bring his gear. My blood ran cold. She was calling backup. In minutes, a battered white work van screeched up. Two massive guys climbed out. Her brothers, Jimmy and Frank. Big, mean, all beer gut and tool belts, fanned out on my patio like they were here to collect. What's the problem here? Frank grunted, glaring right past me. You okay, sis? He asked Karen, who was already in full meltdown mode. Wailing, she attacked me. I was just protecting the neighborhood. Suddenly, I'm outnumbered 3-1, and they're circling me, boxing me in, all while my niece is shivering in a towel, trying not to cry. I tried to explain. Your sister came onto my property, screamed at my niece, and shoved me. You need to get out now. Jimmy sneered. Our sister is a pillar of this community. You're the one causing trouble. He got in my face, chest puffed out, all intimidation. I was dizzy, 1 against 3, in my own backyard, and the day had spiraled into a nightmare. Then the sirens, 2 police cars, lights spinning. Relief for half a heartbeat. Then I saw their faces as they took in the scene. Karen sobbing, her brothers standing protectively, me angry and shaking, Maya wrapped in a towel. The officers went right to Karen. "Ma'am, are you all right?" She put on the performance of her life. Fake tears, shaking hands, telling them I'd attacked her. They turned to me, cold and suspicious. "Is this true? Did you put your hands on this woman?" I felt like I'd left my own body. "No, she trespassed, screamed at my niece, shoved me." "Look at her." I pointed to Maya. "Does she look like a burglar?" I tried to show them my call log. I called 911 too. Everyone calmed down. The older cop said, but he was only looking at me. The whole thing was upside down. My anger was treated as aggression, her lies as vulnerability. They asked for my ID, not hers. They told me to lower my voice. Her brothers crossed their arms and smirked. And then, here comes Kevin, her son, early 20s, skinny, greasy hair under a backwards cap, phone on a gimbal, already filming. He circled us, recording everything, zooming in on his mother's face, making his uncles look heroic, and making sure to catch my face twisted in anger. He was crafting a story, Liv. When I tried to talk to the police, he filmed me mid-sentence, then panned over to his mother pretending to cower. The younger cop just let it happen. I tried to explain, but it was my word against their whole performance. The cops decided it was a neighborhood dispute. No arrests, no trespassing charge, just a citation for disturbing the peace, handed to me. I stared at the paper. "You're giving me a ticket? For what?" "For yelling, for escalating," the cops said, as if the whole thing was my fault. When they finally left, Maya was still crying. The pool ruined, the silence louder than all the yelling. But it wasn't over. Less than an hour later, my sister called, frantic. "What is going on?" "There's a video on Facebook. It's you and Maya." I checked, and there it was. Kevin's video, edited to make me look like a violent monster, Maya's face blurred out to make her look like an intruder. The title, "Violent Homeowner Attacks Elderly Woman and Good Samaritans." Hundreds of comments. People calling me names, threatening me. My address posted for everyone to see. My phone blew up. Calls, threats, hate. Neighbors stopped waving. Cars slowed down in front of the house. Teenagers yelled from windows. Eggs splattered against my siding in the middle of the night. I felt like a prisoner, Maya glued to my side, terrified. The digital firestorm became real. I unplugged the phone, shut off social media, sat in the dark. I'd never felt so powerless, so alone. But then, one comment on the post. "Does the homeowner have security cameras?" It hit me like a lightning bolt. I ran to my office, pulled up the backyard camera, motion activated, high-def audio. I watched as Karen snuck in the side gate, watched her face as she spotted Maya, heard every hateful word, watched myself storm out, saw the exact moment she shoved me. Everything. Undeniable. I made copies, clung to that USB like it was a life raft. The next morning, I called the best civil rights lawyer I could find, Ms. Davenport, tough as nails. She watched the footage, face hardening with every second. "We're not just clearing your name," she said. "We're going to dismantle theirs." And she did. We filed a civil suit for trespassing, assault, defamation, and emotional distress. Davenport's team edited the security video, split-screened Kevin's lies against the unedited truth, and sent it to every major news outlet. The narrative flipped overnight. Karen was fired from her dental clinic job within 24 hours. The HOA fined her to oblivion and started eviction proceedings. Her brother's contracting business tanked. Their van, clear as day in the footage, became a symbol of do not hire. Kevin was suspended from college, his digital footprint forever stained as a cautionary tale in media ethics. When depositions came, Davenport sliced through every lie with the video as her sword. Their lawyer folded. No trial. The apology tour started, neighbors bringing casseroles, the HOA planting flowers in my yard. Even the cops showed up, out of uniform, apologizing for their assumptions, their failure to protect us. Maya's therapy, paid for by the settlement, helped her reclaim her joy. First in small steps, then in big ones, like hosting pool parties again, the yard filled with laughter, the stain of hate washed away. Our settlement terms were ironclad. Public apology, restraining order, court-mandated courses on racial sensitivity. Karen forced to sell her house and move. I paid off the mortgage, set up a college fund for Maya, the Maya Fund. The rest is peace, in my bones, in my home. 2 years out, the neighborhood feels healed. Better, The ghosts of that day, just reminders of how much stronger we became. And the kicker? I saw Frank in the hardware store, beaten down, wearing an orange apron, getting schooled by a retiree about pipes. No swagger left. Karma's not always loud. Sometimes it's just a slow, steady grind. Every 3 months, I get reports from their court-ordered classes. Karen still bitter, Jimmy and Frank just grunting through, Kevin hiding behind cynical buzzwords. They're all trapped, one way or another. Kevin tried for a comeback, some pathetic YouTube apology, all eye drops, and weasel words. The internet wasn't buying it. They dug up the truth, roasted him alive. Last I heard, he's working a dead-end desk job, his dreams of being a media king forever ruined by the receipts he left behind. I took my pain and turned it into action, joined the HOA, helped rewrite the rules, started a welcome committee, and now I even talk to new police recruits, show them the videos, tell them how it felt to be treated as a suspect in my own backyard. Maya, now 12, did her own school project about housing discrimination, used our story. She's fierce, unafraid, already making the world better. Karen and her family fractured, scattered. Their house bought by a lovely family who throws their own pool parties now. Weeds got pulled, flowers grew. My home, my neighborhood, my family. We're stronger, more beautiful for what we survived. That's real karma. Not just revenge, not just justice, but restoration, turning over the soil, letting something better take root. So, yeah, tell me, what do you think justice really looks like? Is it punishment, payback, or is it this? A community forced to look at itself, learn, and finally grow? Leave your thoughts in the comments. What would you have done, and what's the hardest lesson you've ever learned about standing your ground?